Oh my Lord, have mercy. Ooh, the sun's coming out. It's going to be like 85 degrees. Everyone wants to move to Southern California where you can't afford to buy a house. Good luck with that. What a nice looking watch. I can't tell time on it. It's a nice piece of jewelry though. What a Citizen Panda. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want to talk about today. You know what's been on my mind a lot? The Seiko Black Monster. And when I think of that watch, I think of a couple things. One, I think of a song, big hit song when I was in high school called Baby Come Back by Player. Baby Come Back. Baby Come Back. Seiko Black Monster, come back. You know, 8 years ago, I was mired in the most tacky, tasteless watches. I was wearing these oversized clocks that I would buy from television brands, and obviously that speaks volumes about my personality and how damaged it is, clearly. And walking around, man, with these giant watches like a third-rate Las Vegas croupier. And there was a watch that saved me from that. It's called the Seiko Black Monster, first generation. I bought it for about 200 bucks. I think I bought it and rebought it 3 times. I should have kept it. I think of all the watches I've ever owned, I think that first generation Black Monster captures my personality and my love of watches more than any watch I ever owned. I didn't like that it was an unhackable watch. You couldn't wind it. That drove me crazy. And I ended up buying a second generation with shark teeth. I sold that one. I would have kept that one too. I think those are collector's items in my mind. I should have kept those. So, Baby Come Back. What happened was yesterday, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. Dude, you need a Black Monster. And I bought one. I bought not a first generation, not a second generation. I bought a limited edition third generation. It's dark blue. It has a Cyclops dial, and it looks like my first generation except for the Cyclops dial, but it's hackable, so I can wind it. And I'm really looking forward to getting it. I'm also nervous about getting it because I have this feeling that it's going to be the one watch that embodies my personality more than any other, and it's going to get a lot of wrist time. And thinking about that, it made me ask some questions about watch collecting in general. Number one, why did I get rid of the Seiko Black Monster? It was like Dorothy going to Oz, man, going on this crazy trip. She should have just stayed home, man. There's no place like home. You know, I wonder if we all have like a Dorothy or back home in Kansas watch. You know, a watch but we got rid of it because we were scared to be home. We had to go on that crazy journey, you know, where we wasted lots of time and money and we created lots of anguish for ourselves. Because for a lot of reasons, we wanted to learn about something, or we wanted to distract ourselves from things that are painful, or we wanted to escape reality and live in a false reality. And I think a lot of times our watch addiction is a false reality that we hide from our disconnection from the world from. And so I started thinking about that, and then I started thinking, well, is there really a watch that is you, that is your identity, that is your back home in Kansas watch? And maybe there is. Because if there is one, though, then you don't keep buying watches. I started thinking about this tendency that we all have to amass more and more watches. And you know, do we really like watches if we're doing that? Because if we really liked a watch, why do we have this emptiness that makes us continue to buy more and more watches? To me, then the watches aren't fulfilling the expectations. What if I'm right? What if there is like a back home in Kansas watch, your identity watch? What if the Seiko Black Monster is my identity watch? What if I ended up wearing this thing like 90% of the time? What if it takes over the Sumo? What if I don't wear chronographs so that I can't read the time on it anymore? Nice looking watch, but I can't read the time on it. So this is something I'm thinking about. What's going to happen to my collection in 4 or 6 months? Am I going to be down to 4 watches, my Transocean, my 2 tunas, and my 3rd generation Black Monster? I don't know. Should I even make videos encouraging addiction in other people? I want to tell you something before I sign off. I knew a guy for about 5 years. We commiserated every day on email about our watch addiction, our watch obsession, and he went down a bad road with it. He got a divorce. He disappeared from the watch world. He shut down his YouTube. He sold all of his watches, and he doesn't commiserate with me anymore. I don't take it personally, but because I know something about addiction. You got to remove the environmental triggers when you're trying to recover. So I hate to say this about myself, but I was an environmental trigger to him. And the last thing I want to do on this channel is be an environmental trigger to you. I mean, I don't mind talking about addiction and obsessions and laughing at ourselves, but I don't want to be an enabler of addiction. I want to be as honest as I can when I see these things. And so I wanted to throw that out to you there. The sun is just going up. It's crazy. I'm going to have to go work out outside today. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am out.